the country became ungovernable with many individual coalition members in Parliament who thought that they should dictate what the Council of Ministers or an individual minister should do, with complete disregard to our Constitution and in violation of the path of office they had taken. The higher tenet of the trias politica was consistently at jeopardy. We were also aware that there are influential people outside of Parliament actively attempting to take the country's driver's seat, whilst comfortably sitting in the back and not being accountable. Unfortunately, we had to conclude, and as the population can see, they have won. We knew that there were Parliament coalition members secretly or even openly siding with the opposition, individually holding the entire coalition hostage or threatening to do such. We were quite cognizant of the tactics to dismantle the Council of Ministers, one by one, until a weakened COM was in place, and they would in turn control the majority in the Council of Ministers. We were also cognizant of the sabotage within the Council of Ministers. Having these members move to the other side of the aisle does not guarantee stability and unity the country needs. Therefore, on September 22nd, the Council of Ministers invoked Article 59, allowing the voters of St. Martin the opportunity to decide on the future of St. Martin. The public of St. Martin should note that the mandate was given to us in the governing program to work with the Netherlands and the World Bank. As Prime Minister, I was given the mandate to bring home $580 million to help reconstruct and rebuild St. Martin. That mandate was delivered. The same coalition that appointed us in the seats never once stated to end the working relationship with the Netherlands and the World Bank, or came with a direct, viable, and executable alternative. And so this Council of Ministers stayed on course. Despite the criticisms, the sabotage, the deliberate defamation, and the spinning of many, we stayed the course. What happens next? I can firmly state today that my conscience is clear. My hands are clean. And I have done all in my power to help the people and the businesses of St. Martin. I have always acted in a transparent, open, and integer manner. I have secured the establishment of the trust fund, the integrity chamber, and I have personally overseen the preparations of more than $125 million worth of reconstruction and resilience projects that will be implemented in the coming years. The financing reconstruction of the airport is set to close in October unless the latest political turmoil results in the investors pulling back. It has been a sensitive dossier, but we were almost there. The Council of Ministers worked hard and has paved the path for the execution of the rest of the trust fund projects. Ministers, we can leave with our heads high, knowing that we refused to compromise and we acted based on information and due diligence, navigating through a very sensitive political environment and doing that in the interests of the people of St. Martin. Can others say the same? I will leave it up to the people of St. Martin to decide such. We are surfing on a high wave as a country, and despite the challenges that Irma and Maria brought us, we are doing better than expected. Despite the long time that it took to start the disbursements of the reconstruction funds, we have made tremendous progress. Surfing on a high wave also means the possibility to crash down with great force. I sincerely hope that whoever takes over the helm to navigate this country forward will be able to stay the course and bring unity and stability to the country, because without that, execution of policies is impossible. I conclude by stating we love this country, and in its interests, we have shown and we have drawn the line. It is integrity or nothing. I am very well aware that electorally I have no leg to stand on, as I was entrusted the position of Prime Minister by default. I have accepted to take up this challenging role, respecting the Constitution and looking out for the best interests of our country. Moreover, I am proud to have been able to serve my country in this difficult period after Hurricanes Irma. It has not been easy. This episode has been testing on my personal life, my health, and my family. I have withstood extensive abuse, fake news, sabotage, bullying, threats, and deceptions. But know this, I have nothing to gain from new elections, as I have no interest in continuing in politics at this current time and in this current environment. What I would like to see is stability and integrity for this country. If no one is up to the task to do the right things and do them the right way, if none of us has the courage to choose for integrity, then we do not deserve to be in power. So regretfully, once again, the time has come to let the people decide. I have to rely on the conscience of our people, and I will urge them to carefully consider their vote and to have the courage to choose for the moral high ground.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
And I must say, Lady Grace, this thing that we are seeing happening today with MP Messalina and MP Brown Bill actually jumping ship. Really, this is not something that happened within the 2 weeks. You understand? This is something that we have been fighting as a party within the coalition. We have been strategizing, and we have been trying to preempt, and we have been trying to do many things. But clearly to us, for very long, it has been that this would probably be the outcome, where these particular two MPs would be the MPs that would jump ship. Mm-hmm. I discussed this with them.
Why do you say that?
Why? Because it became very evident at a certain point that people started to go against the very same agreements that they signed. Mm-hmm. They signed a coalition agreement with SMCP, signed on to certain things, one of them being to foster better kingdom relations, due to the fact that, we were just after Irma, we accepted the trust fund, and to execute that trust fund properly, it would be in the best interest of St. Martin to foster better kingdom relationships, to deal with the Dutch on a level of respect and not of all the time insulting and then having to get instructions. And why go that route? They understand we are in need. They provided some help to us. Now the way to carry out that help was the important part. I was always very vocal in the coalition as to we need to make our position strong, but at the same time be able to dialogue, and have a strategy, have a plan on how we deal with the whole approach. But I must say, looking back now at what has happened over the last year, and referring back to something somebody, and I put it in my speech, which is this was the longest falling coalition, because like I said, we just came out of a hurricane, right? And the people that really wanted to jump ship was so scared to jump ship with a backlash that would come with it. You understand? Because remember, when you jump ship, it comes with a backlash. Okay, so what better opportunity now, right, to blame MP Myers, right, as the reason now why they're leaving.
Well, who is the person actually to blame for all this? Because the rumors are out there, the rumors, and I quote that former MP Heiliger is playing a major role in the reason why these two members of parliament have jumped ship.
Well, I will say.
Did you hear anything about
well,
this?
Well, not only I heard it, Lady Grace, but also I lived certain things in the coalition for the past year. You understand? And those were not SMCP things. Those were things that UD had to deal with internally. UD had to figure that out. But I must say, I saw a total difference of the coalition pre-MP Heiliger being incarcerated and post-MP Heiliger being incarcerated.
What are the changes?
Well, clearly, there seemed to be a more of a we don't want to go in this direction. We don't want to deal with the Dutch.
Was that the
we
reason
don't want
why?
to deal with the trust fund.
Right.
We don't want to do anything. And that was very mind-boggling to me, Lady Grace, because the very same reason why SMCP was in a coalition, right, and even had a seat in government, was the fact that DP, UP, right, and no, DP, UP, and Brown Bill, right,
Okay.
they basically are the ones that formed a coalition that led to Prime Minister William Marlin losing his majority,
Right.
and that brought us into an election. That's how SMCP got a seat. We were not in favor at the time of going into election either, right? But as a party that ran the last time, we ran and we got one seat. That put us in a position to actually be in a situation to form a government with one of the other parties, which ended up being the UD. So the basis of that coalition agreement, of that coming together, was on one thing, main point: the fact that DP, UP, who then became UD, right, with Brown Bill, right, accepted the trust fund. So why all of a sudden midstream now we are saying no, we're not in favor of the trust fund anymore, and we're not in favor of dealing with the Dutch? You understand? So those became fundamental problems with SMCP. For the past, 6 months, it intensified. We saw that MP Messalina took the decision to fire Minister Lee with the opposition. A decision, by the way, that the 7 others were point blank against, and he knew that, but he still proceeded. For the last year, I actually have faced MP Messalina having an issue with Minister Lee, okay? And I tried, Lady Grace, I had conversations, I said, but what's the root of the problem? You understand? Maybe this is something that we can discuss. Maybe this is something that we can solve. And it pretty much boiled down to one simple thing at the end of the day.
What was that?
Right? Personal egos.
Make use of WIB mobile banking with easy access and direct usage of face recognition, PIN code, or fingerprint. Download WIB mobile banking app and make your transaction from anywhere at any time. For more information, visit wib-bank.net/quick-
If they are not longer in government to do it, it means to say, yes, that who is going to execute their program? One thing is sure, the opposition parties who were against this program, they didn't sign for this program, they will have to come up with a better program. Why we say with a better program? Because when we have analyzed the governing program from UD SMCP, it was not in the interest of the 13,000 households in St. Martin. When we said that they are living in poverty, we have asked all the political parties to sign the declaration for the eradication of poverty. Now, only the St. Martin Christian Party has signed the declaration, but they did not, in these 2 years that this government was in place, have performed or have presented this declaration for the coalition to accept or adopt. If it was presented, and the only result was that they were going to eradicate the poverty by doing a study for the poverty line, not even that took place. So when we look at the past government coalition, what did they do for the poor and needy households? We can say zero. And whatever they say, that they was there for the people, and that they did all what they could do to look for the recovery of St. Martin, the 13,000 households live still in poverty. And for everybody to clear their mind, right? Don't come any longer with this, that they say that they, in the interest of the country, in the interest of the people, that they put down the government. Because when we look at what the other politicians did on the opposition, they had the opportunity in Parliament to change with proposals the budget that they presented to execute their governing program. They had the opportunity to present legislation to make it possible for the people to get a higher social protection floor, to get better old age pensions, to get a higher minimum wage, to get living wages. They could have done it. They did not do it. They have been criticizing the existing government, but they did not come up with proposals, whereas legislator, you can do that. So if they are going to form now a new government coalition, the first thing we want to see is if they are willing to sign the eradication of poverty. Why we say so? That declaration puts clearly the commitments that a government should look into to address the needs of the poor and the needy. And as Anti-Poverty Platform, as Consumers Coalition, we have given an example of how you can address the needs of the poor and the needy. The latest program that we have provided, you remember, is the Affordable Health, Fruits and Vegetables program that we have provided. When you look at that program, everybody with a small budget could afford to get healthy fruit, healthy vegetables. None of the politicians, none of the government's coalitions until now have done something in that direction to protect the poor, to protect the needy, to protect the consumers. So what we see is that if they don't do nothing, is we have to unite to stand up for our right. This is what we have done. So if really these politicians want us to believe that they are going to form a new coalition that will address the needs of the poor and the needy, we welcome them to the table and we welcome them to sign the Eradication of Poverty Declaration. Because only then we know that they are committed to execute and we can hold them accountable for what they have signed, right? Any accord that they have now, we haven't seen that accord yet, but what we can say, if it is the same old story, that means no attention for the poor and the needy. And so with that said, we're looking forward to a dialogue with whoever wants to go into government now. If it is after an election that they want to reach there, or if it is before an election that they want to reach there, whoever wants to go and sit there, you have to take into consideration what we, on behalf of the Seniors Association, on behalf of the Windward Islands Chamber and Labor Unions, and on behalf of the Sunfed, have been presented. Until now, we are in agreement of that. This coalition of the consumers, you see that it didn't fall. It will not fall because we continue to defend our, we don't have voters. We have the people that put us in place to defend them.
We, as Mr. Yusurum previously explained, it does not matter to us who form which government or by means of election, because we're going to stand on our message, which means that for the declaration, eradication of poverty is a must to us. And whoever sits in government, we will be as a thorn in your face and in your eye in terms of building back homes for the poor and the needy in this country and affordable social housing. Okay? We don't care too much what the grandstanding, what it means in terms of for whose reason airport didn't get built or whatever, hospital, etc. We will stand there and see to it that the right that the people have in terms of putting food on their table, that get done, that programs are implemented for accomplishing those sort of things here. People care about the tangible things, the things that they can see and touch right now. They know that these things are important. What also we needed, we need strong politicians, which we don't have on the scene, on the market, neither in parliament or in government, that will stand up to the Dutch government, irrespective of our position, of now being the one that on the receiving end. Because should we take the full picture, constitutional picture, what the Dutch has put into the bucket, first of all, was no aid, but it's money that is due to us, owed from the billions that they have to be putting towards reparation and also towards their obligation to bring us on equal footing here in the Dutch Caribbean. They have reneged. And because of these same politicians here that were not interested in terms of learning the true message that had to be placed in Parliament, don't get the stupidity and asinine program of getting CONOPS here. It's nonsensical. What we need is for these politicians, especially those who say that it's a great thing getting CONOPS here, get CONOPS to understand that the poverty that is on this island is partly because of the Dutch non-involvement or involvement in the development of St. Martin. And where the Netherlands and the Kingdom of the Netherlands should have been involved and see to it that no pocket in this society be in poverty. And that has never happened over the past 50 years by the Dutch government. And we can clearly see also that the Dutch government has always been interested with this economic development for them. But no one put before the Dutch to eradicate and to build thousands of homes on St. Martin. Social homes that we need affordable housing, you understand me? And let us come up with a mechanism where we will get rid of what is the food monopoly in this country, because they also are suffering the very same through the best islands, Sabin into Statia. So they know we can work on better, bringing in better instruments to better the life of the people. And if we have politicians that are going to assume any position now, don't come and talk to the people about the hospital and the harbor. First talk to them about what we're going to do with the wages, because wages has not increased for the average worker in St. Martin for donkey years now. Pension, people are living in poverty. And these are the things we need to see, how we are going to reform or create a new pension scheme for the people so we could lift them out of poverty. So don't bring no foolish, stupid, new governing program. We're not interested. We're interested in seeing that a declaration for the true eradication of poverty is made first and foremost on any new government program right now. And that we also engage the Dutch government now to assume its true responsibility. That was the first tranche that you put on your obligation. Now let us talk about now new injections that need to take place. Okay? And stop having the Dutch fool us with as if they have done us a favor. Third, we would like to see also bring back the issue about political stability in this country. Go back to the what I have put forward since 2016 on the SER. I put a piece of document there where we believe that, and we know that can bring political stability to St. Martin. The question, because no one has said it, but I'm saying it is ship jumping no matter how you phrase it. It is ship jumping. So be it happened by Mr. Myers or by Luc Marcelina or by Brown Bill, it is still ship jumping. How are we going to? That government is no longer controlled by a particular individual, person, etc., but now by the true meaning or the spirit of the law, which is by the political parties meeting one another. Political parties should be those that once they cannot find one another, should then write to the governor and inform him that they could no longer meet and they call for election. You understand? And those are the things that none of these politicians, when they went in and being fattened by their salary, forgot that the reason we sat in this same polemic is because of ship jumping since 10-10-10.